Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Tech Savage. So today I got a project in my hand. Essentially, a customer of mine at HoverBoardKY.com had a little accident and completely ruined his scooter. So he shipped it back to us. Well, excuse that, but we now got the scooter in-house, certified technicians. We're going to take this scooter that is here, that is completely broken in half. We're going to exchange it with a new shell that was shipped in, and we're going to fix and repair this issue. So I just want to go ahead and show you now a little bit of the issue. If you look right here, looks like somebody stepped dead in the center and broke the board on it. Power, everything works fine, but the scooter is broken, as you can see. So we're going to take care of that today. Again, Tech Savage. Check me out, subscribe. Also, if you want a scooter yourself, certified, guaranteed to work, guaranteed repairs, we'll fix it, no questions asked. Go to HoverBoardKY.com. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/HoverBoardKY. Thanks. Alright, YouTube. One of the first things we want to do now is we want to open up the scooter. So we're going to do that by taking this screwdriver. Looks like the majority of the bolts don't come shipped in it. Definitely want to go left. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, okay?
Alright. No. Yes, no. Okay, so it looks like there's just two screws on each side. Alright, so remove those screws. After you remove those screws, you reveal the internal components
of the scooter, okay? Got your power button, your LED lights, power cord for that. You got your charging cord right here. This is the adapter to that, and this is the power button right here, okay? Alright, set that aside. Let's take the other side off. Alright, other side's exactly the same except for no power cord, no, just the LED on this side. So let's set that aside. Alright, so now we're looking at just legitimately just the frame of the scooter, the two cords which connect the two circuit boards. We'll get to that in a second. Stand by. Alright, YouTube, next step is we're going to take the damaged scooter, okay, and we are going to open it up as well.
This screw's going to have all the screws in it. We're going to use these screws on the new board. Let me see if that was enough or if I need to go over a couple of them again. That should be enough. Listen. Alright, this thing is... I'm sure it is. There we go. I think that was what I skipped. Alright, got it.
There we go. Looks like I just skipped that one. Alright. Now we're looking at the internal components. Let me grab my light. Alright. Okay, so we're looking at the internal components. At this time, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and disconnect. If you are following this video, first time you've ever done this, I would highly recommend you take a cell phone and take a screenshot at this point. So you'll know basically where to put the wires back when you're reassembling the new setup. Alright, stand by. Alright, YouTube, I'm back. So technically what I'm doing now is just removing the other side of the cupboard. As you guys will see now, simple setup. Just unhook the screws. On this side you got your one LED. That's you know, the setup there. And I'm going to walk you guys step by step on how to properly take this setup. We're going to put it over here on this board, and we're going to flip these scooters out. Alright, stand by. All right, YouTube, next step is going to be just removing some of the cables. I mean, this process is simple enough, but I don't like to skip steps or assume, you know. Let me see here. So we're going to start up here. We're just going to unpop that. I actually skipped a step. This right here, the LED light, was actually connected to this outside pin here. I already removed that. Something to do. I have a magnetic tray, just don't know what the heck I did with it, so keep up with your screws, because the new board only came with just enough to keep it together for shipping. You're going to have to use your older screws. So let me pop that off here. It's got these little tabs, you just push down on them. Alright. And then we're going to go here to the actual circuit board, and we're going to disconnect our power and our charging cable, power button and our charging cable, which I'm doing right here. You want to kind of be careful when doing these steps, just to assure that you don't knock anything out of place. Other than that, that's it for this step. Stay tuned. Alright, so something I just want to advise you guys is just to be careful, man. These scooters are great, you know, but you got to be careful. Always ride with your feet as far out as you can get them. Never try to ride with your feet in here, and definitely never step where there's no pad. I'm assuming that's what this customer did here. They stepped too far, did some type of jump or something, and the material just snapped. I mean, this is a strong metal here, so for that to break like that, it would have to have been a substantial jump or fall of some sort. So just keep that in mind when you guys are out riding. These things are great, but they're definitely not invincible. You know, I'm 280 pounds, and I've ridden mine respectfully and fun for a long time with no issues. So just keep that in mind. The other side of here, these are the sensors. We're going to go ahead and disconnect those. So there's a little clip right here that we pull apart. And like I said, if you're doing this for the first time, please take a picture before you start. Alright. The next cable we're going to remove is going to be the cable next to that one, which is on the circuit board. Alright. So we're going to pull that one apart. Alright.
Now we're going to go ahead and completely remove the sensor right here, the sensor cover that goes on. Alright.
Alright, once we take that off, it'll kind of not unveil, but reveal essentially the sensors. And these little things right here, these little tabs, they essentially go, let me hold these 4 screws, they go
into, it's kind of hard to see it there. Let me see here. Try to turn this light on and get some more light. Okay.
So if you can see there's those little notches in there. Essentially inside those notches is where the balancing things go when your foot pushes pressure on this side. If you can see that moving up and down, those are the sensors that tell it, and these are the gyros that work with the movement of the balance wheel. So let me set that down, and we'll continue to work. So we're going to go ahead and take this tape off. We won't need that. We'll have to replace that. This is just something they just put on here to keep the wires from moving around. Because there have been some issues I guess people have had with wires coming disconnected. I don't know, but I've not had that issue, but keep it in mind, okay? This cord right here, which goes here to this balancer being, basically it's just one of the, it's the sensor for the light that shows the power for this unit.
So we're actually going to go ahead and while we're at it, slowly take that off. So that, as you can see there, we're going to slowly take that off. We want to make sure that you're careful when you're doing all this, because you don't want to, you don't want to end up damaging any of these circuit boards. I got junk everywhere. So, go ahead and get the second screw out. Alright, take that board. You want to be very distinctive, alright? So, get the screws, set the items, keep the items together, okay?
Alright. Next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to unplug these connectors, which are basically just keeping the 2 items talking with the battery. The 2 sides of the boards. It's like 2 separate boards that work together. So, we're going to separate those. Alright. These right here, these little clamp things, they just come unplugged there, there, and there. Alright. So technically we have completely separated this side of the board we now just have
this wheel to go through the battery and then the battery cage as it comes off. So we're going to start with, like we did on the other side, I'm going to take off the cover and the gyro cover, as well as the start working on the circuit board that's underneath. Alright, there we go. That's off. Leave all 4 screws together. Set it right down next to the other one, okay? Alright. As for this battery cage, simple 4 screws. Alright. Alright, you're going to take the battery cage off, just set it down, and you're going to put on all the screws with it.
Alright. Now that we got the battery cage off, we're going to go ahead and dislocate the battery. As you guys see, all in Chinese. I couldn't tell you what the heck that says. Other than just as a 4400 mAh battery. Okay. So we're going to set that right here next to the battery cage. Alright. We got all these wires here. So what we're going to start doing next, okay, is we want to start to, first we're going to have to take this Allen wrench. Alright, we're going to have to loosen these wheels. And these things are on here tight. Okay. So keep that in mind when doing this part. Brace it against something and have all kinds of muscles. Alright.
This part right here is it's pretty tough. Alright. And remember, when we replace this on the new board, these have to be as tight as you can get them. Because if they are loose, then you see some people that have that really shaky, one side of the board's really shaky. This is one of the biggest causes of that shake is essentially people, their bolts aren't that tight. Either they weren't, completely certified and checked in the factory. Like, wow, this one wasn't that tight at all. This might have been one of the causes of the problems. This one's too tight and this one's not tight enough, so keep that in mind. We'll all keep that in mind as we gotta do the new board. There we go. This one was tight enough, I guess, to keep the other one from having any shake in it, so keep that in mind. We're gonna do that. Once we do this, we're gonna completely remove the wheel. The wheel has a motor that's encased, which we don't have any reason to necessarily remove. We don't want to remove that. So, set that there, the 4 boards.
And just like that, we got our first motor, okay? These things are really tough, great. They're really well made. Like I said, we have no reason to open that, okay? So we're just gonna set this down. All right, next step is we gotta remove the pad so that when we get ready to put it on the board, we can assemble these to the board, okay? All right, YouTube. So next step on this last part of the board is we're gonna go ahead and remove the pressure sensors or the feet.
These rubberized pads are what assist with the balancing of the board. So I'm just actually going to set that on the tray because it's got 3 screws in it. Alright, I'm going to set that down. Then we're going to get started on removing the last bolts that are holding the pad in place. This is also not just holding the pad, it's holding the shell, the frame, I guess you could call it. Or no, the shell, because the frame is the metal part.
I think that did it there. I could feel it kind of come loose. Alright, so let me actually flip it over to show you what I'm doing. So basically you just push your thumbs through. Alright, when you push your thumbs through, this comes off, okay? This is just the foot pad. Alright, I'm just set that there for now. This right here is the plate that goes under the foot pad. As you'll see the similarities, and we're finally getting somewhere. This is where it comes shipped, so keep that in mind. Now we'll move on to the next side, break it down. So next step with this is we're going to start out by, let me grab this, okay? Actually first, let's see how many of these cords I can pull.
Essentially these cords are just going to come straight through, which is connect the 2 boards together, so we're going to pull these harnesses out. Not harnesses, cords, I'm sorry, I'm crazy. Okay, just a second. There we go. Sorry, the camera gets shaky, I'm trying to hold my GoPro and adjust it real quick because I didn't like the angle on screen. Okay, alright, so we're going to go ahead and pull all these through. Get them out of the way. Okay, now that these guys are all out of the way. Okay, this little fellow here, which is the board for the underside light. We can't get to that yet because you have to open up this case right here to get to it. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off by trying to move some of these wires and then removing this
board. Now, this board is super important. So, you know, like a computer has a motherboard, well, this is the motherboard. So be careful not to, you know, jab this thing down and be a clutch or something.
These screws are different, so separate them from the other ones. Most of the screws on this board are a combination of 2 different types. There's a rounded edge, or a rounded nut, and then there's one that's almost like a screw. So, I'm sorry, I said nut bolt, but you guys get it. Whatever. Alright. Alright, there's 2 I gotta pick up now. can't make that 4. Alright, there's a screw hiding under here. Yeah, we can't make that 5. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and release the board from the frame. Alright, a few more screws. Alright. Okay, let me take these screws, separate them. Let me see if I've got enough of the board up to where it'll just come to that. Actually, you know what, before I do that, let me go ahead and all these green connectors, let's go ahead and separate those, just so when we start pulling on the board, we won't have any issues. Just remember yellow to yellow, blue to blue, and I guess you can call that green, green to green, okay? Alright. Alright, it's always wise to try to remove this board before you remove this, because as you guys can see, I got a little blood. I don't know if you can see that, but anyways, freaking scratched the heck out of my knuckle. These things are very difficult to get off, the bolts that hold the wheel down, so. Alright, so let me go ahead and a couple of these screws are being hard-headed. It's good to have I love these DeWalt drills, most of the tips are magnetic, and that's what you need in cases like this where you're dropping crap, because you got big sausage fingers. That's never good. Alright. Make sure everything's loose, so the board will come right up. There we go. Alright, let's see if that did the trick.
Just be very careful, because remember what I said, this is the motherboard. It's like the motherboard of the computer. Alright, so now that you can see this thing is completely removed, I'll just give you a quick shot of this. Alright, let me get the light in there. Okay, maybe that's too much light. Anyways, alright, so here's an idea of what the motherboard looks like. Who cares? We'll just put that to the side, because all we want to do, we're not here to make one, we're here to fix one. Alright, so alright, YouTube, I am back. I had to adjust some of the settings on my camera. I put my GoPro in narrow view. Alright, so something you'll notice here, that there is a you got the 3, you have your 3 little screws, and then there's this circle here. This circle has like a little rubber grommet under the bottom. It's actually hard plastic, not rubber. So what you want to do is, there's a circle here on the bottom of each board. That's where these go.
Okay, they have to go there so that this lines up properly. I'm going to flip the drill over, because now we're going in and set out. And we want to make sure that we get it down so that it actually goes in. Alright, got that one taken care of.
looks like we're about wrapping this up. Everything's snapped up, power button's on. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this and see if anything blows up. Y'all let me know. Let's turn it off. Let's try that again. Okay. Alright. Looks like it's getting power. Everything looks connected. I might have to adjust this wheel. I think I might have put it on. If you put it on too close this way or this way, it can rub against the frame, which is not good. If it starts to do that, then it'll affect the gyros, and then it won't be balanced. These things are kind of finicky when it comes to that, because I mean that's all they are. They're balance wheels, so they gotta be balanced. So let me pop these screws back in this shell, and then we'll go from there. Thanks. Alright, YouTube, that should do it. I mean, technically, I've got all the bolts put on. You saw me take it apart, put it back together. Here comes the true test. First thing you want to do is set this thing down on a flat surface. You're going to want to reset it, because you have to balance the board, okay? So you have to make sure it's completely level. Alright, then you're going to take your finger, put it on the power button, and then, which is here, and you're going to hold that till it lights up. You're going to continue to hold, hear one beep, and then the LEDs are going to start flashing. Once the LEDs start flashing, you go ahead and let go, then you power off. Should be reset and ready to go. Let's get on and see if it worked. Here goes nothing. Alright guys, here goes nothing. Alright. Whoa, ho, ho. Looks like it's working. It looks like it's working completely fine. I just got to move that wheel. I thought, like I said earlier, I thought it was a little close, but everything works fine. So I'll be able to get this back out to the customer as soon as possible, and I'm sure they'll be happy with their fixed hoverboard. Don't forget, HoverBoardKY.com.